welcome back to another episode of Bonsai Apprentice. Today we're going to be making some side accent plants. I'm really excited for this. It's been something I've thought about doing for a while now. I saw Ryan Neal did a video on Kasamono and accent plants, and I really enjoyed it and inspired me to try and eventually just do this. So here we are today. I want to talk about a little bit about the materials I'm using before we get started and what I'm doing. So I have a rock that I'm going to be using this side for. I like this. It's got a nice great, we'll zoom in and do a picture at the end, but it's got nice divots and it'll hold some water, but not a ton. So that'll be really nice stone to use. I'm thinking about using this part as the top, so it'll sit like that, and you'll see this is the front. And then there's got some mesh to use to hold some soil in if I need it. And then I've got a pot with some soil just to carry. I've got this kind of creeping vine. And like I said, I'll bring you all in to see. And then I have these kind of flowery clovers as well. And those I just pulled out of the garden. Nothing too special. So I just pulled them out and brought them down to my backyard where I do all my bonsai. But I do have this, which is a Japanese flowering plant. So I'm excited to incorporate that. It's supposed to have like pink flowers, which I think will accent really nice with like the purple leaves in this one. And then we have a grass here. It's an iris, Japanese iris again. And this is gonna have like, yeah, an early some yellow and blue to it when it comes out, again to contribute with the yellow and the purple in this. I think it'll be a really cool planting overall once we get it all together. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring the camera in, show you guys close up what I was talking about on these plants, and then we'll get to it. All right, so here's one section. So you got this nice purple leaf, nice small yellow flowers in there that go really nice with this purple. And then kind of just this crawling vine that kind of just lays there and, you know, will shoot up. So I'm really excited for that. Nice bigger leaves on these for the taller ones. To come, you know, give me some height, and also the grass to give me some height. So I'm really excited for what we're gonna do. And then here's the stone that I was talking about. So we'll make that the front, so you can kind of have this layering of rock here, the nice shadows, crevices. The other side is really just flat, minus this little chunk here. It's really flat, so we don't want to use that side as much. So think about doing that. And then, like I said, since this has some divots in the top, we'll plant it like that. So like I said, I'm gonna scoot the camera back now so you can see what I'm doing. So unfortunately, during this part of the video, my audio cut out, which is unfortunate. But here it's me just doing and explaining what I'm doing. So I'm just putting some of that soil there. It's an akadama, perlite, and sphagnum moss mix to help hold some moisture. And then really from there on, I just am pulling some plants, putting in an arrangement, and finding what I think would look best overall. So I just sped it up, and we'll splice this with some music so the video is a little bit shorter and you can just enjoy the time lapse. So I think for a first attempt, that it turned out really well. Again, the iris, this would be the other flower that I can't remember. I'm hoping that it'll come out, but it's small, so if it doesn't, that's okay. I got the ivies coming out, and then of course the purple flower kind of leaning, cascading over the edge here. I think it'll really look good in a couple years. So what it's going to do now is just get a nice watering, and then I'll probably just plant up these other ones in a pot, save them for another time. So we're back. This is you just saw the video of the creation of this. This is it a few months later. I'll bring you in for some of those detail shots, but it's still thriving. We're in mid-August right now, so let's zoom in. I'll show you what it looks like. So the first close-up thing I want to show you guys is what this moss is doing. So it's kind of taken down under here, and from all the watering, you can kind of see where it's getting really thick and really it drains off, and the different textures in the moss. You can also see where the iris is peeled back, and strands of it have died, which are adding quite a bit of interest into the soil line, which makes it really interesting. You can also use this if you really felt the need as a front, with a little bit less of that moss, but like more smooth growth, and this as a backdrop. And yeah, so that vine died, but the millweed is doing really, really well. That's what this is. It's continuously flowering and popping out, so it's looking really, really good. I wanted to touch a little bit on what type of because it's very tall. This iris is probably about 1 foot tall, and this is about 6 inches wide. I wanted to talk about where you would potentially use a piece like this. And my vision is maybe something here that you want to accentuate the height and width of, okay? And you want to make it seem taller than what it really is. So if you had a medium-sized tree sitting over here, a medium-sized tree on a display stand, you would actually make that tree look elevated with something like this on it. So I just want to show you guys those details. Again, show you guys those details on the moss, on the mill, looking really, really good. And like I said, this I really like this front where the water is draining off and the moss is starting to grow up underneath onto the rock. It's really, really nice. So yep, we're looking good. And I really like the textures that this iris is bringing to the entire thing. Like, oh, it just looks so nice. So hopefully it flowers too. We will see what it does, but I haven't seen any signs of it yet. It's still fairly one-dimensional, but as it grows the next couple of years, I expect it to get a little bit wider too. So it's got a nice start to it, and I hope you enjoyed.